And we're live. Do 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 do. And then we wait for people to get in here, and then we start chit-chatting.
You don't have like a starting soon?
Not on the Kick. I have all that still on. What up, Wookie? I have that on Twitch. I just need to make one. Clarity, what up, baby? Chilling. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna make one of the spinning. I got your 6 and have some music and stuff like that. What up, Crip? Getting ready to do this podcast with the amazing brother of mine, CrazyNate.
Hey, don't the faces look a little weird?
Yeah, because I have them like inside the box of the overlay. Don't judge me. We gotta change the view of the Discord before the next one. It's so weird looking. Yeah. What I possibly could do is add my camera to the open space and then the guest be in the box, but still have to change the sizes. Just make the Discord screen bigger. It's because it's small. I have the Discord screen like literally maxed out. Like, so if I minimize it, it's this. And then if I full screen it, it's that. Yeah, the scene. What up, Grim? Yeah, Daddy's here. I need to change that timer. It looks like it's only been like freaking 3 minutes. And so, vibing, bro. Getting ready to do this podcast once we get more people in here. Let's see. Did it change on there? It sure did. Like, go to OBS and make it bigger. If I click on it. Actually, I need to, let's see, change the size of me. I could technically make it bigger where it's bigger than the box. That's a little better. Nips.
Yeah, that's a little better. Kind of.
Yeah, because the majority of my actual camera in Discord is all black, so.
My face looks like this.
When you move
Hey,
here, I'm taking you to the
I look
best burrito
skinny,
place
guys.
out here.
Check
Let's
it
go,
out.
Grim. Okay, so I need both of you to cut a wrestling promo, seeing how you're face to face. Yeah, Nate
Ready?
beat me in his first match.
I'll look my right. Sorry. My right. Your hurry the fuck up. That side, Papa. Yeah.
Yeah, I want a rematch, by the way, Grim. I want a rematch, just saying. Okay, now talk shit. That dude on the right is fugly.
Dude, don't talk about Billy like that. Fuck, man. He has feelings. All right, Crypt. Son of a bitch.
All right, all right, all right. So now we got peeps up in here. Welcome in, everybody. It is episode 6 of IGY6. Maniac, welcome. And on today's episode of the podcast, brother Nate and I will be talking about PTSD. Now, PTSD can vary on so many different levels, not strictly military, but most of the time when people bring it up, they think the military. High step, sis. And we're going to be going over all different sides. So if you're new here, welcome. If you got questions, please post them. But please be respectful when it comes to certain topics and angles you come with it. Crazy Queen. So, welcome in, everyone. Love you guys to pieces. Thank you for being here for the next hour and a half of pure amazingness and sometimes chaotic. My name is Jeff.
Two sexy bearded motherfuckers in here.
I know this guy who's been MIA from the world for the past couple weeks is
Not
back.
the world, the country. Okay.
Not you were misplaced from our world, so we don't talk about the states or the country because this is our world. My name is Jessica. Oof. Do you have like a little black kitty and tap your toes and wiggle your nose?
World.
See, crazy Queen agrees with me.
It took me out of this world.
Okay, whatever you guys do off camera. So, but yeah, PTSD. A lot of people don't like talking about it, and it's a key thing that you hear about and see because a lot of people aren't comfortable about talking about post-traumatic stress disorder. And it could be all different angles from being young to going through a traumatic event that gives you stress and trauma, and that's why it's called post-traumatic stress disorder, because it happens and then you have to live with it the rest of your life. PTSD is a B word. Yes, it definitely is, and I completely agree with Crazy Queen because her and her husband here, good old Nate, have gone through quite a bit in their life together with this PTSD. So I'm gonna let good old brother Nate here start us off on topics and ideas and stuff and go from there.
I mean, the biggest part of PTSD is traumatic. You know, that's the biggest part of the whole thing is post-traumatic stress disorder. And when a traumatic event happens, sometimes it scars us in a way that we didn't even realize that it scarred us. Sometimes it's right away, sometimes it's later on. Topics that we can talk about today is, I mean, whatever. I mean, everybody knows. Okay, guys. Yes, before this question gets asked at all, yes, we've killed people. We've killed someone before. Okay, that has happened. So hopefully nobody else asks that question. But other than that, it's for. I mean, for me, for us, obviously, post PTSD happened through the military. I did have one event in my life before I was in the military, but most of the stuff that occurred to me that gave me that I was diagnosed with PTSD was through the military. And you know, for some people, it happens in a car wreck. It happens in, you know, a freak accident in the house. You know, whatever the case may be. But yeah. So I mean, the ultimate thing is for me personally. So my biggest post traumatic my most traumatic event in my life is when I killed a kid, and it wasn't intentional. It was right before the sun was completely down. during that phase where the sun is down, but there's still a little bit of light. So we had our NVGs on, our night vision goggles, and this was the first big mission that I completely planned, did the op order for. I mean, did all the logistics, the whole 9 yards. This was mine. And actually, the day before the mission, the night before the mission, I got a Red Cross message from my wife because my wife was needed to have an emergency C-section for our son. She was severely bleeding, and because this was my mission, I told my commander that I couldn't leave. And if I would have left, this never would have happened. But to me, at least. So we heloed in. We came in a helicopter. We landed. We got out. We started going to the objective that was about 2 clicks away. We got to that location, and it was a really small village. And right when we put our night vision goggles down, we started bounding buildings, like moving from building to building. Sorry. And then when I was clearing one of the alleys, I saw someone pick up a gun and point it towards me. So without hesitation, I took 2 shots and called the medic over, had everybody else continue mission. And I went down the alley. As soon as I got close enough, I fell to my knees. I just realized it was a kid, because the father came out and was screaming in Arabic, my son, and saying all these things. How could you, all this stuff. And I'm just, shell shook. And then the medic was like, he's gone. There's nothing we can do. There's gone. And then I had to continue on. That never left my brain, but obviously in those moments, your emotions are kind of shut off. So when I continued down to the mission, completed the mission, and then eventually went home to be there for the birth of my son, and then my son was born with complications. So to me, that was the reason why he had all those complications, because I took a kid away, and I brought another one in the world, and I was having to pay the consequences for what I did. So that traumatized me for a long time, and I tried to kill myself 3 times because of that exact moment.
Yeah, PTSD is not a joke and it doesn't matter what the topic at hand is, what's the reason of it. It can happen at all different levels. My first experience with PTSD was my father leaving and walking out in my life at a young age, growing up without an actual father figure, through the ages where your memory is very strong, where you remember everything that happens through life events, good or bad, and before you're on your own without your siblings and your caretakers, parents, mothers, single parents taking care of you. And for the longest time, it used to eat away with me until I joined the military and found a place of structure and positivity where I went to red zones and experienced similar, and it changes a person. And it's not just if you take a life or experience something that wakes you up in the middle of the night because you relived it, even though you're not physically reliving it, your mind is. So bad dreams, can't sleep, surviving the day on very little sleep because that's what you're used to, having to do repetitive things so you don't go into a dark space where you're fighting the same battles of demons of PTSD, and it changes a person. But over time, it's true, time heals all wounds, but you never forget. The dreams don't happen consistently over time. The flashbacks don't, but there's these things that they call triggers where you can go a long grace period of not going through all these things, and then something happens. Like for me, it's fireworks. Fireworks are beautiful and they're fun to watch, but once you start hearing these big booms and these red and orange lights that brightens the sky, where yeah, it looks cool in your eyes, but at the same time you're not smiling when you're looking at them anymore. You go from enjoying it to being terrified to wanting to run.
Yeah, and that takes years to get used to too. For some people, you know, for like myself now, a week before July 4th and a week after, I'm expecting fireworks.
Yep.
Like they're already going off right now.
And New
Like all
Year's
this
too.
stuff. Yeah, New Year's as well. Not as much over here as some other places, but yes, you know, at least that I've noticed it happened. That didn't happen here, and I was expecting it, and it didn't happen too much. But yes, you know, when it comes to the uh, the traumatic part of it, you know, it's not always that's that's it. There's other mental how do I say it? Mental illnesses that come with it. You know, depression, anxiety, a lot of anxiety. Always, you know, you're always on guard. Like every time we go to a restaurant, my wife knows it, but when we go with her friends and they're in our car, I drive around the restaurant once or twice. I need to know every exit there is in a place.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if it's a restaurant, a mall, whatever it is. I'm driving all over the place. And at first, for a long time, my wife didn't get it. She didn't get it. And I tell people all the time, you know, it's like one of the hardest things to go through during this whole process of being having mental health issues, having PTSD, is if you don't communicate it with someone and you just try to keep it in all to yourself. That's what destroys you the most. Period. That's the worst thing you can do.
That's why when I go to public places, I sit down at a restaurant, I go with friends, or anywhere where I've never been, I always have my eyes on an exit, and I always have my back against the wall because I don't want to be put against the wall in any situation. Because it's not flee or fight with me, it's always fight. So, because there's no weaknesses when it comes to dealing with things like this, because you don't want to be in a vulnerable state again, because then you still need time to recover and recuperate. And everyone takes it differently. Everyone has their own speed of recovery. Everyone is completely unhinged to a certain point. And until you are comfortable where you feel like you don't have this huge weight on your chest and you can breathe naturally and normal, you're not done fighting the battles that are unseen.
Correct. And clarity. Yeah, I do like sitting in the corners of the restaurants, or you know, in the buildings. I like to face the main entrance because that's where people are dumb enough to walk in through and go through, you know, on situations. So yeah, I understand crypt. The being locked up part, I've heard that a lot. I've been locked up once, and that wasn't. That was because I beat the shit out of someone, and I had to sit there, and I wasn't there for a long time. But yeah, I don't know how to. When it comes to that aspect, I'm not. Or,
Yeah, my biggest and keyest part, that it's only bad in the month of March, and I know it's bad to say that, especially when I have a baby sister's birthday during that month, but March 10th is always the roughest day of the year for me, losing my best friend, who I should have been taking instead of him, on an IED explosion. And yeah, I have scars and disability from it, But at the same time, when that day approaches, I try every possible avenue of some sort of distraction, keeping my mind busy. Like I try not to sleep too much because that's normally when the nightmares reoccur. Because of course your body thinks about it, your mind thinks about it. But I'm constantly like I'll try to be out in public places, go to a festival, a baseball game, um, just be out in nature where if I want to relinquish myself or relieve myself, like by screaming, yelling, or hitting something, I'm not really harming anything but nature, but nature can always grow back. No, I'm not
And
trying
there's
to say I'm going to start a fire or anything, but it's one of those things where triggers happen and it's crazy.
Nurse Jackie was talking about how you can never, it never goes away, and no, it will never go away. And that's why I went to a lot of inpatient PTSD courses. Um, I did some prolonged exposure therapy. I did some cognitive behavior therapy as well, and you learn to live with it. And I know that sucks to hear for some people, is that you learn to live with PTSD, but you do. You learn how to use coping skills. Learn. Not. I'm not just talking about breathing techniques or any. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about learning what your triggers are. For me, it's smell. A lot. If I smell like freaking, manure, like waste, stuff like that, like it. I don't like trash day. No, because there was areas where I was, the whole area smelled like shit, and it constantly reminds you those smells that trigger you around the person and stuff like
That's
that.
that's
Yes,
that's a fact, Crazy Queen. The
and
people
as
are surround you. It definitely helps. Just like excuse me, like Crip said, when you're around positive people that have similar pasts and post traumatic events where they can relate to and can help you cope because they went through it. It's a huge positive on just being there for one another, and not just with going to war or losing somebody close to you, or if you were physically abused as a kid growing up, or if you were bullied in school, if you tried your hardest and to get something like a job or something and got denied and you're just completely lost in this thing called life. It's post-traumatic stress disorder just starts to take a burden where it reminds you of everything you went through. And I wouldn't say they're failures. That's a key thing that we don't want you to look at it as a failure because you didn't fail. You're still trying. And that's what we want you to do is keep trying, push through, like lean on people that want to be there and be that structure to lean on and not a dying tree that if you lean on it, it just falls apart and disappears.
yeah, failure is just giving up and trying to do what I did. I tried to give up. I didn't want to pain anymore. I didn't want anything anymore. I didn't want to think about it anymore. And Babe, and I mean, me and my Crazy Queen and Crypt are right. Like when I have flashbacks or when I have nightmares, most of all, and I wake up and I'm either sweating or just shaking or whatever, as soon as my wife is my center, like I just by touching her alone, letting me know that she's there, brings me back. Flashbacks, everything. She brings me back every time. Just hearing her voice, letting me know that I'm home every time. Works every time. And that one scared me. That one was close.
Yeah. Welcome in, Silverbeard. But yeah, it's having those people, and those people that are literally structures in your life. Don't let them go. Like, let them, even though you might not show appreciation at the time of the event, over time, you're going to realize, like, without those structures around you holding you up, you don't know where you could be. Just like Nate said, he's almost went down that dark hole 3 times, and I've been there multiple times. And it sucks because you're only in your mind. You're not in everyone else's where you can change things or act upon things and change what you're going to do, but you think the easiest route, and it might not be the easiest, but you think that it will just stop all the pain, all the physical and mental pain of the battles that you're facing, and just by exiting this world of ours and then giving other people some sort of PTSD of losing someone close to you. And
Is absolutely right.
a lot of people might not think keen when it comes to these different ways of talking about it, but it's 2023 and it's reality. And we're still around this world talking about it. And it's not just military PTSD, it's any source of PTSD that caused you trauma that you live with every day when you wake up and before you go to bed. Because it used to be so bad for me where I was afraid to close my eyes some nights, especially like going through my divorce and going back overseas to the red zone and reliving everything and thinking I had nothing left in me to keep going. But I did, and I'm glad I did. And I cherish all the people I've met since I got out of the military, where I was in a dark space for a long time, and very grateful for it. Like, I won't lie, there's still things I won't talk about, but I think it's more I'm afraid of looking like a monster, like I wasn't in the army. I wasn't someone protecting our country. And that's the thing, that's a key
Appreciate
thing.
welcome.
That's a key thing, Crypt. Like, that's why I was excited when Nate came up with the topic of PTSD, because yes, we're two military vets who've done some crazy shit, but at the same time, PTSD is a whole,
Come from anywhere,
yeah, anywhere.
from anything, any
Like,
traumatic event.
it,
First,
yeah,
Crypt, we know, first of all, we know you're a thug. Thug life forever. We know it. No, I'm just kidding. But on a serious note, like without when the things that I was going to tell my wife that I was so afraid to tell her, I didn't want her to see me as a monster. So it's the same thing. Either whether it was serving your country or any situation, you don't want to think your loved ones, you don't want your loved ones to think you are a monster. So I completely get it, bro. 100%. So don't ever feel ashamed because obviously they love you for a reason. And there's things that you need to talk about with them so they understand why you are acting the way you're acting. Does that make sense?
and that's another. You brought up a key thing, Crypt, where you think about it, what other people would think if you told them certain things. Like, I got stories for days where, for one, I'm not going to say it on a live stream, but at the same time, like, there's definitely things that I've been involved in, from the first taste of PTSD of my father walking out on me all the way until the most recent event was my last deployment. But over time, when you feel comfortable with the people around you, you feel okay of opening up. But then you have that family of yours where you can feel comfortable and know that you won't be judged. You won't be looked at different, and you'll still be loved the same way, if not stronger, because you literally took that extra step to open up and go through and express what you went through. Because, like, a guy like me, I have an imaginary mind. So if someone tells me a story, I literally play a movie in my head with whoever's telling the story with them in it, and putting pieces together and watching like a movie in my head. And sometimes people can relate and some people can be like starstruck about it. But at the end of the day, your family will always be there and always, always take care of you.
That's
Exactly.
right, Nurse Jackie. When it comes to if you bring uh, if you bring in from depths in a safe place, yes, absolutely. You always want to be in a safe place, not just with your therapist when you're talking to your therapist, but when you're talking to your spouse. You know, what's your favorite spot that you love hanging out with your wife or your significant other, or or your best friend, or whatever the case may be, and going to that space where you're safe and able to talk about these things. To release
Exactly. Safe space with safe person that you are comfortable with. I have a park that helps me clear my wife or my chat. Exactly. I like to be outdoors. I like to be where there's no street sounds. There's no. It's like caveman, as I would call it, because it's before mankind, where you could just go somewhere, listen to the wind, listen to the trees move, listen to the birds, whatever animals, and just breathe. Just take deep breaths and admire looking around and just clear the mind and just walking around and just seeing how nature reacts. Because besides the weather, the nature doesn't battle anything when it's nice and beautiful outside.
and you know what your safe space is,
Yep.
whether you realize it or not. You
Yep.
feel different in that area. It's like for me, like in just being in this room, just being in this room with surrounded by my computer screens with y'all. This is my safe space. My wife even told me this last year was one of the best years I've ever had. I've gotten to meet all of you, especially Billy, Nips, Tits, freaking Kronos, Dante, Tyler, Grim, and Crypt. Like just y'all alone, I feel almost 100% comfortable talking to y'all about anything. And I have spread it from just the brothers that I served with and my wife, this little circle that I had, to something even wider and broader that I can talk to you guys about all the things that I've been through and not feel ashamed at all. Of course, you're thinking they're gonna think different of me. At the same time, I won't know until I tell y'all.
Yep.
And that took me years to accomplish. Years. So
Exact. Like Nip saw me in my most vulnerable state when I began streaming, and Crypt was there too, and Wally, because we all bawled our eyes out. Because I don't ever put myself first when it comes to anything. I always take care of the people around me before I take care of myself. And we were on camera, and literally Nips had me bawling my eyes out in a good way, but it really like woke me up and had me feel better, not just about myself, but just feel the love that I have for the people I met through streaming and interacting and gaming with. And it helps on a daily basis because my life is literally work, sleep, and if I'm not doing something, going somewhere to see family that I met through streaming, I'm literally here behind a camera in Discord, either gaming or just vibing out. And it is definitely a life-saving event because I've been living alone since my divorce. I've had one roommate since then, but if I'm just alone in a place not doing anything, normally I used to go to a dark place because I'm in my head. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm talking to myself, but who doesn't do that? And when you go to those dark places, you literally fight everything all over again like it's a scary video game, but you're facing it in reality in your mind, and then you start having little like I don't have certain tendons in my elbows anymore because when I got blown up. But when I go inside my head and I'm thinking about these triggers and these life events, I start feeling the pain like I just lost those tendons in my elbows all over again. And it goes all the way up into my head and my spine, and I start freaking out and screaming and yelling, and then it all goes away, and I just like, I got to do something. So being in a state of mind where you're not alone, having similarities with people that you met, and life changing events that brought you stronger and closer together is what is needed, and people should never feel alone. We never know when our PTSD moments are going to
Right,
hit,
yes.
and it's been a lifetime of learning where
One
my
thing,
yes.
one thing I was about to mention is that, I had no idea how traumatic all the events were. And when I realized I had PTSD is when I had my back surgeries. So I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't do nothing on my own at all. So when I found out I broke my back, I was literally in bed rest or in a wheelchair in pain all the time. And I didn't realize when you keep yourself active, you don't think about these things that have happened. And then all of a sudden you're not doing anything. So it happens to a lot of people when they get out of the military, because when you're in the military, you're consistently doing things. And when you get out, you don't realize all that stuff, all that training that they keep you busy for, not knowing what they're doing. They're also keeping your mind busy, and you're not thinking about all the things that have happened. So it was like a flood for me. I was on the bed for a week. And then next thing you know, all these thoughts, I was seeing the kid that I killed. I was hallucinating. I was seeing him in the corner. I was seeing him in my dreams. I was talking to him. Like everything when it came to that. And it all floods you at once. You'll never know when it happens sometimes. And sometimes when things happen, you're like, yeah, I'll get over it. And you don't realize how much that has affected your life. You know what I mean? So
Makes complete sense.
yeah. Yes, knowing support is there does help a lot.
Yeah, when you have people that will listen, because that's the key thing. A lot of people can give you input, give you advice, but when someone can actually listen to you, take everything you say, and then give you back positivity or just real life shit back, it can change how you go about it every single day. Couldn't agree more.
Right.
Every time there's an episode, won't always be positive use of tools, but I do something that helps me, and that's I say out loud, I am safe, I'm alive, and I'm in control. Exactly. Just be there in the moment with you.
Yeah, and other people learn their different tools. For some people that does help. I am alive. I am in control of my emotions. I am in a safe place. For me, it's like constantly telling myself, I'm home. I'm home. You know, I have a safety plan actually, because I've tried to kill myself a couple times. I have a safety plan. Like if any of these triggers happen where I notice where like I'm having thoughts of killing myself, I literally go through the list. Whether it's looking at pictures of my kids, if that's not working, calling my best friend. This is my brother that I served with. And he has the same problems. We went through a lot of the same things together, so we talk about things together. Actually, I've added new people to the list recently. I've added Billy. I've added Nips. I've added Kronos. I've added. Actually, just right before I left, I added Crip because I have his phone number now. So it was just one of those things that I consistently keep adding to, because I will never, ever put myself in that situation again, and never, not just myself, but my kids, my wife. I'll never put them through that again. You know, so I talk to my wife about these things. I'm like, hey, I'm not right today. Something's not right today. You know, so
I
she's
do,
like, well,
yeah, I do the same thing. I'll text Nate, Nips, Kronos. I don't have Crip's number yet. Grim, like people that I've known for a long time now and can relate to a lot of things where if I'm not right in the head and I want someone to talk to, I got a phone that I can contact people. And if it's not a phone, I have Discord, of course. I have me and my son's photo on my lock screen for when those thoughts. He's the reason. That's good.
And that's why I would say, man, if anybody ever, you know, feels comfortable with me reaching out to them or you reaching out to me, like I DM people my phone number. Hey man, I'm here. You need something. You know, people have things. You can ask Nips. I'm actually a great listener. I don't know what it is about me that people feel like they are comfortable with my wife and I, because my wife's my best friend, guys. I tell my wife everything. So, and if your spouse or your loved one is not your best friend, to where you don't tell them everything,
Yep, just saved it.
you know, like that's not your person. I have literally seen Nate stop prior to have a conversation. Yes, we actually made that kid call the suicide hotline. No bullshit. That was crazy.
I did that for
But
Tukey. We did that for Tukey. I was literally streaming gaming with Nips and them. He came into my stream, needed to talk, so I left Discord, left the match, and he was drunk, but I was like, it don't matter what I'm doing. I will literally stop what I'm doing so that way someone else feels safe. Someone else's voice is heard and not left unheard. And that's the key thing, because you can make a change in someone's mind to prevent them, to make them be here tomorrow. Because another trigger of mine is losing one of my first military buddies who came home from deployment because he changed units and was going through some shit. We played Xbox all freaking night, and I went home in the morning, and the next day his mom calls me saying, you need to get over here, and he took his life after I left. And it wasn't even talking to the police, talking to his family. It was literally the shit that was going on in my head was a lot worse than having to answer questions, because I was the last living person to speak to him before he did the last resort. And it sucks.
and that's the thing too, is knowing the people that you talk to, the people that are close to you, they know those things, you know. And like you said, you know, your buddy wants a different unit. You hadn't been around and you haven't seen the signs. You know what I mean? Y'all were having a great time. Little did you know that all that stuff was going in his head, because it's I'm not dude, I know how much that sucks. I've seen.
Yep.
I've been through it just like that. So, you know, and you thinking to yourself, well, I just would have saw the signs. He didn't give you any signs. That's the problem. You didn't know his signs either.
Nope.
Sucks.
And that's why they always preach about the 22 when it comes to military stuff, is 22 people a day that are military commit suicide. And when you look at it in a broader spectrum is the fact that that's military people. That's less than 1% of the United States that are military. Then you got to look at the suicide rate nationwide through everybody, and you'll be blown away by the numbers that you see every day, that people that are battling. And I constantly bring it up since the day I started streaming. Robin Williams effect is fucking massive. People can
Especially the last 3 years.
yeah, people could be smiling, have no signs at all, and you have no clue what battles people are facing on a daily basis. Like, one of my best friends from high school, her husband committed suicide and left her and the 3 kids behind because she had no clue on anything he was battling on an everyday basis.
It's easy to fake it. Easy to fake it. It's easy to act like you're having a good time. So he's done it. I did it for years. Years. It's so easy to do it. Like, I mean, we can be having a good time, but the people that know you, people that are always around you, 90% of the time they know you're faking. They know something's wrong because you told them, you talked to them, you give them the signs.
But it's those that are still here every day after that happens that have to live on with that on their mind. And then it doesn't burden you as much at the beginning, but when those dates come around and flashbacks come around, you really see what could have been different if that one person was still here.
Hey, Crypt, if you think about it, bro, you're not that hard to read, bro. I'm serious. You're not that hard to read. We've seen you, like, dude, we've seen you to where you're just like, man, Crypt's not having a good day. We can tell. Hey, dude, you good? You
Or you can
know,
tell the tone
so
of voice.
yeah, not just the voice. Sometimes you can tell by the facial expressions, especially, especially yours. I don't mean that in a bad way, but especially yours. You can tell. I mean,
But like I said again, you're never alone, but you're never
no.
rushed either. When it comes to where you're ready to sit down and talk about it or just have the floor and just let you speak, you got so many people, and that goes for everyone. You got so many people around you that will listen, that will reassure you that things will get better because you have the army behind you supporting, and I'm talking about the family army, not the United States Army, but just the army behind you that has your six and is always there no matter what you're doing. Yeah, Nate does that. But
Not
it's
just with mental health, not just
yeah,
with mental health in
yeah.
general.
It's okay when you're not ready. It's okay to push things away, but there'll be a time. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow, next week, or next month, or even this year. But when you're ready, your family will be there to listen.
Go seek help. If you're too afraid to talk to your family about it right now, go seek help. There's so much free help out there right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, unless I knew them, I don't think I can just like go talk to a therapist. I would have to talk to someone that I know and trust. Because that's a key thing
You
I
can't do
didn't
that.
do. That's why I don't claim PTSD for disabilities, because the process I had to go through, I was like, no, I'm not going to go sit with the shrink and then go sit with the military shrink and then just to get approved. I'll be
They told
okay.
me I had it. They told me I had it. I didn't know to claim it. It's I mean, it's different for everybody, man.
Yep.
Some people see PTSD as a crutch, you know. Some people see it, man, it means you're weak. You know what?
That's,
I don't know anybody that has PTSD that's weak. That has PTSD and then continue to live through it forever and to continue to push and learn new things about themselves. Those are some badass motherfuckers, my opinion, bro. My opinion, straight up. People that have PTSD and know what they and learn what they know about themselves and learn how to live through it daily, hourly. Those people aren't weak, my opinion. I know we've been doing this for about an hour now. Does anybody have questions they want to put out?
yeah, please hit us with some questions.
I don't think anybody's really had a question either. Yeah, I'm not a person that I call people out on their bullshit. I mean, bullshit might not be a bad thing to say in this scenario because, you know, if someone tells me they're fine and you know they're not fine, that's when I say I'm calling you out on your bullshit. Like, come on, just let it out. There's nothing wrong with talking about it. Best part of my journey, I got closer to my wife, in ways that I didn't think I needed to get closer. When I finally opened up to her about everything, I realized that, she didn't see me as an evil person, or like, as for instance, that Crip said, a monster. Like, my wife knows me so well now, and I know her so well now that we're just connected in a different way. I didn't think that was going to be possible. I thought we were done. I thought we were ruined. What about you, Billy?
I can take negative like a grain of salt and put it in a perspective where I could turn it into something positive, where I'm better at giving positive energy with a purpose than holding back or neglecting or dwelling on something that's going to affect me long term. Because the fact that I have people I can lean on and talk to all the time makes me that much stronger. Because I'm a strong motherfucker, mentally and physically. But being stronger mentally on an everyday basis makes me feel better and also sleep better at night. Because I used to not be able to do that. Because it don't matter what is put on your table, what is put on your plate in front of you. I'm going to eat that shit and I'm going to smile about it. And then I'm going to live on my life because I don't go down the dark path like I used to on a consistent basis. When there's those very rare occasions, I tell it to fuck off because I know for a fact I am strong and I will get through anything. And the past month and a half with my job and situation of being, I would say, separated from life itself, it's been rough, but it's those people I call family. My girlfriend, of course, and everyone that I see on a regular basis. And it's not just in Discord. Like, we talk in Snap, we talk through our phones. It's those moments where I'm like, you know what? This shit isn't that bad. And I always live by the day. I don't dwell on the past like I used to when I was younger. I live by the day. And if it's a shitty day, when I close my eyes and wake up the next day, that's a whole new day. I don't reflect on what happened the day before, and I push forward because every day is a new day. Every day you wake up, you open your eyes, you take that deep breath in, jump in and out of the shower, that first cup of coffee. Today's going to be good because it's what you do on an everyday basis that will define you every day after.
Fair enough. Well said, Billy. Well said. And I agree with you, Nurse Jackie. We are definitely our own worst enemies. We are our own worst enemies, period. And Nips, when I was first going through PTSD, um, there could have been 1,000 positive things that happened to me all day. That one negative thing would literally take over everything when I was first going through all this stuff. That one negative thing, whether it was, someone cut me off, or I didn't have enough sleep, or whatever, my son, didn't listen to me what I said, and it would just take over my whole day. So it's like you ignore all the positive things that happen and you're only focusing on the negative. And when I learned how to balance those and learn how to focus more on the positive than the negative, everything slowly started to work out bit by bit when it came to that aspect of it. what was one thing that you've learned, Billy, that helped you the most? Like, what's your biggest trigger?
Biggest trigger, as in
Something that triggers you, like something that gets you upset, gets you going.
mentally and physically women abuse.
Yeah.
And so when I say mentally, so verbally disgracing a woman
Yeah, yeah.
or mistreating a woman physically. That enrages me the most out of anything.
Yeah.
Because we're in the United States, we're not in the combat zone, so those other triggers don't surface. But my biological father used to beat my mom, beat me, and my older sister and my brother underneath me. Didn't touch the two youngest. So when it doesn't matter if I know you or don't, I don't let things go unsaid or actions unheard if I see that as a trigger. So if I'm in public and I see a guy verbally or physically assault a woman, that dude's not in a safe space.
Not with us around.
Nope.
You know, one thing that one of my biggest triggers is child abuse.
Yep.
The reason why I say that is because over in Afghanistan, the way they treat and beat and yell at their children and sexually abuse their children over there. Not just their children, other people's kids. That's what. So I don't know if I should. Yeah. So over there in Afghanistan, at least in the area that I was at, like once a month, it seemed that guys would take little boys and rape them. And it happened in the building next to ours. And I didn't realize what was going on. So when I heard screaming, I got over there and they tell us to ignore it. They tell us to just leave those situations alone. There's nothing you can do about it. There's things I did about it. We're not going to discuss those entire things that I did about it, but that's one of the things that really triggers me when, you know, it's not the fact of yelling at a child. It's not that. It's verbally seriously abusing them. You know what I mean? That's one thing that really gets me going. I don't have a problem with anybody, you know, spanking their kids if they need it, but beating them is one different thing. It's totally different to me. So that's one of my big triggers. And like I said earlier, another trigger is obviously the smell of human waste. Not when I'm in the bathroom by myself, but human waste like outside. I can't stand it. I can't go around porta potties anymore because it triggers so many thoughts, so many bodies. You know, it's just.
Yeah, it stunk over there. Mine is smelling something burning. And I'm not saying burnt food or firewood or anything. You would know the smell by, for example, touchy subject, a Humvee just being engulfed with other buddies of yours inside of a Humvee. Smelling burnt flesh, burning where you could smell the burnt paint off a vehicle. It's a trigger. And it instantly puts that image in your head of what you saw when you smelt it for the first time.
Very true.
Oof.
And yes, Nibs, life is full of mysteries. And we can only go through it with Billy.
all the
Sorry,
time.
we needed a smile after those two serious subjects.
Yeah. I was just waiting for like the coarse music to be playing in the background, the violins. And no, I'm not trying to pick on the Titanic. Oh yeah, booty cheeks always make me smile.
Oh shit. The Titanic. That's funny you mentioned that. That's what happened recently. Dude, there's been so many crazy
Oh
memes on that
my
stuff.
god, Nips. Oh yeah, I've been posting them.
Oh, Nips. Holy shit.
That's Brumfields doing the
Yeah.
gobble gobble 3000. Yeah, like Babe snapping me and she's like debating on going to the races, and I said, "Go to the races, enjoy yourself." I'm doing my podcast, I'm holding strong, but she's still
Yeah.
snapping me, so that's
She's
why if you
probably
don't see me
watching. She's
looking at
probably
the
still
camera,
watching, you
oh
know?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, my father's asked me 20 different things on a text message since we started. And he's like, oh, what type of filters do you put in your... You didn't check this shit before you left? Like,
filters what in his AC?
in my AC, yeah. Our AC. Like, I've been gone all month, so, like, obviously...
Hi, Daddy Jane.
Daddy
Yeah,
Jane!
you put filtrate. Don't put the cheapies in that you can see through. Put filtrate red, blue, or if you have allergies in the house, you put purple.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming from your family HVAC technician.
Yeah, I was about to say, come on, give us something good. Oh my God, Nate is back. I am back. It was a long and wonderful trip, and don't worry, on Monday I will have the full video of our vacation. A little bit of self promo. Sorry, Billy.
That is not self promo. Your face is on camera.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, good old PTSD. All different angles and antics of it, of anything that caused you post trauma. And that's what causes the disorder on an everyday living. What goes on behind closed doors, what goes on in your head that people don't see because your mouth isn't moving. But it's always the quiet ones that are battling on an everyday basis when no one even thinks of it. They could be just not even showing a frown or smiling. They could just be looking off at the distance where you think they're looking at something, but in reality their eyes aren't really open, but their mind is going at 110 miles an hour.
It's funny you say that. I this past year I've been opening up to my daughter. She's 14, you know, she's about to be 15, and she started to ask a lot of questions. And and I've given her examples of what PTSD is like and what mental health is, and etc. But she when I space out, I'm just like, not intentionally, like when you space out, sometimes you're like at that deer in a headlight face.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, Daddy, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. I was enjoying peace and quiet. Thanks a lot. But no, but I'm so happy. Like, and I told her recently, like, I was like, you know what, sweetheart, you can keep asking me that. No matter how frustrated I look or I say, no matter what I do, thank you for doing that, because that lets me know that you understand what I've been through and that you think there's something wrong. So thank you so much.
Which word would you use if you could only use one for the rest of your life? That's
Nipples.
a good question.
Nipples. Nips. I'm just kidding. Let me think about that.
If I can only use one word, honestly, as cliche as it sounds, it'd probably be the word love. Because you can use your hand motions and eye contact to initiate all the other words. Because I can literally point at myself, say love, and point, and it would be understanding. Fuck. I can see it.
Silver
Fuck.
beard, yeah. Yeah.
Fuck. Nuts.
So
Noise.
I don't know.
Dante is having troubles typing. The hacker's having troubles typing.
Yeah.
Jeez, we got 2 people for fuck. All right, everyone in chat, if you had to say one word for the rest of your life, only one word, what would it be? Because right now we got fuck as the winning number with 2 votes.
So mine would be like hueputa. That's like
All right,
it's like
one
son
word
of a
in
bitch.
one word in English.
Oh, that is clitoris. Clitoris. Pussy bitch. Oh man. Dante is a bot. Definitely. I don't know what mine would be. Jeez.
Precious cargo.
Wiener.
Wiener.
Penis. Oh yeah, penis. It would be penis. So everybody smile. Say penis. Sorry.
I'm just glad no one said moist.
Oh my god, wet. Woulda.
Vulva?
Vulva. Fuck's a vulva. Moistest. Of course. Come on. Well, hello there, Waffles. Ew. That's what you would say, Waffles? Ew.
Oh my gosh, you said the word. I knew Jackie's gonna say so.
I hate the word moist.
Oh, I changed my answer.
Oh my god, you said the word. Which one?
Moist.
Oh, who hates that word?
Hi and no, I don't like the word moist. Sorry, I read it again. It just showed up. Moistus. Okay, I said it again. I'm sorry. Crayon, what color? Or what Wally would say, what flavor?
Yeah. What flavor?
Snacks.
Is there
Stream muted.
stream muted?
That's
All right.
not. That's 2 words. Waffles. That's
was-
2 words.
That was an excellent subject change at the right time. We appreciate it. But at the same time, does anybody have anything they want to actually express or have a question about when it comes to, doesn't have to be just PTSD, when it comes to mental health?
Yeah,
'Cause that is another aspect of it.
that's always the key thing
Huge,
about
yeah.
the podcast is
You are welcome.
it
Thank you,
relates
motherfucker.
to mental health. Self-love and mental health is always, it attaches to everything, no matter what the topic at hand is. And mental health and self-love is definitely a huge thing when it comes to PTSD. So if you guys got questions, topics, or stories, or hit us with your best shot, because you get the 2 most biggest open books on cameras right here. As I read Crip's text message. Okay, that's a novel that you just wrote me. I will get that.
Okay, so that, just so you know, that's what I'm doing too. I wasn't gonna say anything, but
Q.
I expressed
Welcome
in
in,
your
buddy.
and Billy's text.
Y'all see the new alert for follows? Yeah, Daddy Sneak and
I
Chiva
feel you,
made
Billy.
the.
I mean, I feel you, Crypt. You know, I feel you, man. You know, that's something that, yeah. So, what up, Q?
Vibing, bro. Good to see your face.
Doing good.
You enjoying summer break?
And that's a Crypt. Has anybody ever told you should write a book with no periods, no commas, no sentences, just one long sentence? Yeah, I am. Are you? So, wait, would you ask you?
Is he enjoying summer break because he's not in school?
Oh yeah, that's right. We haven't seen him around though. Like, he has his own crowd now. He's got his college
Yeah.
buddies and all this stuff. He forgot about all the old folks. We see how it is, Q.
F English rules.
Yeah.
I try
We know.
when I'm typing, because I can type fast, I try to use punctuation and commas and not use the word and all the time, and periods and capitalize and hyphenate in my paragraphs and stuff like that. But there's sometimes, like, if you just read it, you'll understand. Because
Yeah, exactly.
if someone
I
tells
just-
me, like,
I-
you have so many grammar issues, I'm like, you know what? You'd have grammar issues too if I was in between your legs. So I'm just saying.
Who do you not mess with anymore, Q? You don't talk to Mama Mips no more? Like, You don't talk to Billy no more. You don't come in Discord and hang anymore. Like, dude, he's living the
Daddy
college
Jane got
life,
it.
bro. He's living the college
To be
life.
fair, I couldn't really use because Burr crying, not me. Is that a word?
No, it's not. But you know, we understand it. It's cryptic. It's
Moxie
cryptic
gave me
language.
shit the other day for not using a comma because it made the phrase kinky. Well,
That sounds like
Moxie
something
can
Moxie
get
would
in
say.
here and suck on a popsicle for all of
Yeah.
us.
Tell Moxie to just get his ass in here in general, you know, and then so we can talk shit about Moxie.
Yeah, there he goes. And I want it to be swirling so it looks like a barbershop going into his mouth.
Yeah. Until recently, what? I don't mess with them. My
Yeah.
God,
If it's not two hands and doing the
it's not right.
squats, I ain't want it.
It ain't right.
Unless you're into jet skis, not jet skis, skiing, and just leaning back and forth. Subject change. Grabbing my popcorn. I mean, I haven't been on Discord until recently. I know you've been MIA without like filling us in.
Yeah. Not letting your family know what's up, bro.
That's why we always get fallen shit.
Speaking of IB, grabbing my popcorn. You don't like the subject change? Some people think PTSD is just too deep, you know? When people
Son?
hear what up, Bailey? When people hear, you know, all these traumatic things and they're just like and that's what I try to tell people. Your stuff is different than our stuff, you know? Or not our stuff. Like yours, like Billy's traumatic stuff is different than mine, you know? I've seen someone have PTSD from someone getting someone got blown up 200 meters away and he didn't know about it till 2 days later. So now he has PTSD. So I think that's real. I don't know. But you know what? Everybody deals with their own stuff in their own way. Your stuff might be different than ours, but you know what? It's always safe to talk about it, just so y'all know. It's not just, you know, just because I talked about, you know, having to kill this individual and that doesn't mean yours is less than mine because we all deal with our own shit in our own way. Right, Billy?
Exactly.
Cool.
How you been, Mips? I mean, you can never go too deep, but you can go too deep. Huh, ladies?
Oh my God. I thought we were talking about we were talking about something completely different. What the fuck? Oh shit, Billy. Yes, my love, you definitely have PTSD too. You have to look at me every day. I know. Stop reminding me. Are you okay with me sharing? Oh my. Are you okay with me sharing about your PTSD, babe? About your dad?
You gotta look at his naked ass. I mean, we've seen it in a dress, through the
Hey,
dress.
whoa. Just the ass, all right? It was a crack.
Hey,
Just a
man,
crack.
you're not a licensed plumber. You couldn't be showing that on stream.
Oh shit, right?
I have the clip.
Yeah.
That's another thing about this family. You might think something happened or an event happened that no one remembers. There's always someone that has
Someone
a
remember.
freaking
And
their
then they'll bring it up,
phones.
and then every fucking body will talk about it.
Yep, or a clip, a video. Yeah.
Yeah, I've received a text message video from Ivy Fallen when my ass came out on stream. He like literally legitimately recorded it on his phone. He was
That's
like, I'm gonna have this for the rest of my life.
Yep, that's some PTSD right there.
Nate with his nipstick. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, lipstick.
lipstick. I was like, nipstick.
Well,
What's a
that does
nipstick?
sound like something that Q would say, and you know, verbally too. So
Yeah, that
Q would say,
nipstick.
nipstick, that nipstick. Look at Billy.
Mama nips and
There's
her
definitely a
nipstick.
clip. Yes. No, there's not a clip. There's actually there's a People have clipped it. I think they definitely clipped it, or they definitely recorded it on their phones and everything. It was not embarrassing at all.
See, I used to always act before I think, but I've gotten better over the years. But there'd be sometimes I'm just in Discord and
we're
I'll
just having fun,
and
right?
I'll do
Like,
something and I'll be like, "Wait, you're streaming?"
I
They're
have it
like,
on my PC.
they're like, "Yep." What up, swag? I have it on Snapchat. Oh God, see, everyone's got
Swag Prince.
No one can ever forget.
You have it on
Nate's ass.
Snapchat? Doesn't Snapchat delete your messages after a certain amount of time?
Not if you save it.
Fuck.
We vibing,
Doing
swag. Love to see
fantastic,
you,
buddy.
bro.
How you doing?
Nope. You can save that
I'm back,
shit.
swag. I'm back.
All you gotta do is tap it. If it gets
I
sent,
recorded it on my
you just
phone.
tap
It's
it.
there forever.
Hey,
Oh shit.
there's sometimes we don't have control. If you're not streaming, if you're in Discord, I'm like, as long as the flash is off, right? Because everyone gives that look.
Why are y'all ganging up on me right now, huh? Why how did the
Oh, it happens to
PTSD
me.
come about my ass track, my ass crack, huh?
Ass track? That's
Yeah.
a cool racetrack.
I'm trying to use my words.
Like the Dark Star. Oh God, yeah, the Dark Star series. Yeah, Babe got to see all those. She did. She got to see my naughty side in Star Wars.
Wait, what?
Yeah, when I was drunk on stream and the crazy chick in Dallas that likes to do things to men that I never knew could happen. She tongue punched for fart bucks, okay?
What?
What do you mean I bring it up? Crip just brought it up.
Silverbeard, why aren't you talking more?
He's watching and listening and laughing. He could be here. He's literally next door.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Silverbeard, you happy that Billy's leaving or what? Or does he know? I bet. No, I'm just kidding. You fucked up. That would be messed up if I did that to you, dude. That would be so wrong.
Yeah, you just did.
What the fuck? What?
You did.
Yeah, I told you you're coming over. He's coming to see me. And that's the
Is
end of
that
the
how you deal with
podcast.
PTSD from the moment, Billy? Yeah. Because it happens, but at the moment, it was enjoyable, except the Godzilla strap-on. That didn't happen because
I
I
definitely
left.
remember when he fell asleep on stream.
Yeah, who doesn't remember me falling asleep in stream?
I remember you leaving your stream up, but you went into your shower and fell asleep. I remember that one.
If Nips could have recorded me last night, I was so high.
Oh, really?
I don't even remember most of the shit that I was doing.
Which time?
Yeah.
Which time?
Yeah, there's clips galore. Most time it's Moose clipping me, or people taking pictures and then sending it to me, or if my mouth's wide open and Casper can just have his way with me. Yeah, I took the longest hit off that pen, and I started coughing, and I was a whole different person.
You almost yelled at me last night. You got your dad voice. Ooh. How'd you like the dad voices?
I was like, who yelled at who?
Talking to you.
I didn't yell at Waffles. Did I? Wait, who's she talking to? Who yelled?
Cricket, yeah, it's a good question.
Emotional damage.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't either, because I was in a coma. When I passed out at like 4 something this morning, I didn't wake up till 1 this afternoon. Yeah, look at that gray hair.
I got a straight line now.
Start looking like a real wrestler.
Yeah. I beat your ass, didn't I?
Yep.
I had no idea. I thought the fight was like this, like today, to be honest. I had no idea that it was Thursday because I was flying in an airplane. So
She did keep me up, but honestly, most thing I was remembering about last night was Kronos just kept talking. It just kept talking.
Almost did say you did when I woke up.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
She came in, she's got a leg cramp, and I was like, "You're supposed to be in bed, Waffles." But it was a deeper voice. I was high as fuck.
Every woman loves a man with salt and pepper.
Last night was literally story time. Like, me and Nips were just looking at each other, and I'm just like, we rated out, and I'm just like, stuffing my face with a pork chop. Because I ate cottage cheese. One of those special ones that comes with the fruit. And I
like the dad voice.
And I tried the one with the peaches, and I was like, I had to eat something else. Don't use that dad voice on me.
That's for damn sure.
That's a good girl.
Wait, what?
That's a good girl.
I like how you're like not moving your mouth.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty good at that. No, you stop. Diddy! Make me stop, baby girl. Hoo-hoo. Hi, I love you.
What up, Double D?
I miss my cuddle buddy. I will end it all. Ooh. Ooh, end me, mommy.
Hey, Papa. What up, buddy? How you been, Double D? Did you miss me, buddy? Billy didn't call me once. Billy didn't reach out once. I just want y'all to know that.
I did not want you to have international charges on your phone.
I talk to Nips almost like every other day.
I did text you. Say I didn't.
Like a text message or
Yeah.
like through TikTok? Yeah, go ahead. Look through your phone real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I'm looking right at mine, buddy. And June 5th was the last time we talked.
All right, guys. It was a good show.
Yeah, this is a good show. We're fucking ending it now. Oh fuck, man. So, because I reached out to you on TikTok and said, "How you doing, buddy?"
Oh,
and you were like, "I'm on the trip."
Oh yeah, I was in Midwest.
I'm in Midwest Fest. Yeah, I win.
So,
yeah.
Anyways,
let's bring out the.
Yeah.
Oh, frigid.
Yeah, you shake that booty.
I even talked to the queen. Yes, she did.
Imagine.
The only communication I had with Billy was watching him post stuff that how much he loves his woman. That was it.
Oh, the TikTok. What were you like?
I was like, oh my god, he really is in love, isn't he? I'm like, oh yeah, they're still in that sexy honeymoon phase.
Hey, 2 months strong honeymoon phase.
Hey man, keep it going. Here in 22 days or 21 days, it'll be 17 years married and 18 together.
Damn. I need a Billy TikTok now. Where's mine? I didn't send it to Nate. They're on my TikToks. It's on my page.
It's got a notification saying Billy loves this woman still. No, I'm just kidding.
So what is everyone getting into the rest of the weekend? Who has a 4-day weekend? Who has to work on Monday? And who's off on Tuesday? Now you have Bay TikToks now, and I
Been
want
married 24 years.
Oh, you want I Love Nips? Oh, I can make those. I can make videos where we're both crying at different times, but at the same exact event. 24 years? Damn, let's go, Silverbeard.
That's a lot, bro.
Silverbeard and his wife are amazing.
Yeah.
Known them for almost 2 years now. And I've been here a year.
Who gets the medal? Wifey or Silverbeard?
They both get medals in my book.
Work on the 4th.
She does.
She does.
Smart. He's like, I'm safe. I'm gonna say this. Wait, what are you eating?
My father just brought me pizza.
I want pizza.
I haven't had a pizza in over a month. I'm excited.
I wish
was
they
gonna-
delivered pizza and didn't have to DoorDash it, because now I want pizza.
I was gonna wait 30 minutes, but nah.